Righty, so got the door handles in, got them all marked, drilled, whatever. The front ones, because they're probably out being high speed, the front ones, because there's still original piece of wood in behind those two front doors at the lock and door handle, I may have to just get, they're going in alright, but I may just make some tiny little slivers of wood and just poke in those screw holes just to make sure that they grip okay and they don't pull out eventually, because I'm just not sure. That's pretty much where I drill the holes, because that's an original skin on that side, but so I probably did drill straight through the original holes, but I'm not sure because I think I ended up filling them, not realising. The phone's about to go flat. But yeah, the other side was a new panel, but it's still new wood. It's still the original wood in behind, so it didn't feel as nice and as tight as screwing into the new wood in the back doors. So yeah, I'll just poke a couple of small slivers up in there, and at least when we're screwing next time it'll feel a bit more positive. But now, with these hole punches, or wider punches, what do you want to call them, I'm going to make some little rubber gaskets to go in behind these, which should be simple enough. Just point you down here a bit. Actually, bring you in there. Alright, my shift positions. Mainly because the phone's going to go flat. So I'll come over here where I've got some power kind of handy where I want to be. So we will hold that on there. Yeah, right, so that works, that'll work really, really nicely with just that little rubber gasket in there. It'll just stop any paint damage, all those little things, you know, and by the time that's nickeled around there, and I'll probably just sand the edges of those gaskets with a bit of, I don't know, 600 wet and dry or something like that, just to take the feathery stuff off it, and that'll be, really, really nice. That'll freaking be spot on. These door handles are funny though. Like, it's going to be hard to get them to sit dead flat. It just, it's the way the door locks work. But that was pretty freaking good to me. Now, once we get the car sitting down, you can jiggle those door handles and get them sitting dead flat for a couple of photos. But that looks nice. That works well. Awesome. It's good to get all these last little freaking bits just sorted, and we can get these away, get them coated. I still wish that guy freaking put a little bit of weld in there and filled them up. I don't want to weld it because I did hate to screw something up where he was doing it with a TIG, so he could have gently filled that in. But it should be alright. Hopefully by the time they nickel it and I can put a little bit of body filler, just a wee scrape of body filler, and then just be careful and sand it and mask around it and then just paint it black. It should be fine. Should be fine. That's cool. Awesome. I'll carry on making those little gaskets. I won't worry about testing and fitting any of the rest. I just wanted to make sure it, when it pulled up tight and everything looks okay, and it does. I reckon these here would actually look quite nice, polished up with just a nickel door handle too, you know, but we'll get it all nickeled. But yeah, like, you know, I've still got to make these little pieces yet too, proper stuff here. We'll get something made and make gaskets from behind that. And I'm still trying to sort out something to go in between these. I haven't actually talked to my brother, and my brother was going to make some for me, but I'm just not quite sure what happened there. And he was also going to try and sort me out the ball for the accelerator too, but I'm not quite sure what happened there yet either. But now that we're just about got that motor sorted, yeah, for you, that clutch bearing will be flying. You know, it'll only be the nickel and a few little small pieces that'll freaking slow us down. But like at that point, it's not that bad, you know. I think the bearings are almost here, ready for the diff. We're waiting on the side ones, I think. I think the pinion ones are all here. I think to be picked up. So yeah, so I can get that shit sorted too very shortly. I think it'll blow together pretty quickly. But yeah, it'd be nice just to get a few bits and pieces on this, and then I can get that bloody Dodge in here. There's plenty of room to park it there, you know, for a wee bit while I'm in the States, you know, and give me half the chance to, if I can get a chance to start pulling it apart before I go, it'd be nice too. But yeah, especially if I get some of these bits on, you know, it's not hard to put this stuff up in the corner or something, and just see how we get on with this Dodge, see what the deal is with it. But yeah, this is going to fucking blow together really nicely very shortly. Very shortly. Starting to feel like a car again. You know, like it was good to get it painted and all that sort of stuff, but it felt so stagnant for a while. It's nice to just get all these little troublesome things that just to feel like you can do something. You know, you actually feel like you're getting something together again. You know, you're doing lots of little jobs, but it's amazing, you know, just you feel like you get stagnant again. Yeah, and we've got the tank there to put the bits and pieces on, and then that can go back and be finalised and glued together, and then I can freaking put a bit of paint around that too. I'm not sure if I told you that or not. So yeah, we've had that away and been tinned, so all those mating surfaces are all being tinned and pre-soldered. So yeah, we just got to rivet all this shit on, and then yeah, it can go back and have the final sort out, and so he's like tinned all the joins and all that sort of crap. So he'll do the final seal up, and we'll yeah, give it back to him, and I can paint it and we can test it, and it should be freaking awesome. Get it bolted in. Wicked. Yeah. Alright, cool. I'm kind of getting excited again. I was getting a bit freaking dreary for a while. I was starting to lose motivation. I wasn't, but I was, you know. Felt like I was getting nowhere for a while. But yeah, that's cool. It's coming together quick-ish. It's all these little pieces that just take so much time, you know. Thinking we're just going to pop the head off and have a quick look and maybe clean a little bit of shit up, but it's turned into a 3-day ordeal just trying to sort the motor out, you know, and there's probably another day in it, you know, just fluffing around doing all the last little bits and pieces and shit, then flick a little bit of paint around it. Yeah, be nice if we get that fucking clutch bearing. God, I hope we can get that sorted. Hopefully I might, what's today, Thursday, hopefully I might be able to I'll do some inquiries tomorrow and just do a little poking and just see whether the guy that I've been dealing with has heard anything back from those guys, whether they're having any success, if you know what I mean. And I'll keep you up to date, because yeah, that's going to be our Achilles heel. Everything else you can probably get around. But if you can't make the motor and box together, you're kind of screwed. Anyway, yeah, we'll sort something. Right. Morning guys, welcome back to NZ Marko Outlaw Kustoms. I was going to say Iron Outlaws, but no, that's the other channel. So at the moment, I'm still mucking around with these door handles from yesterday, which I'm actually going to put on after this video, because when I got editing last night, it's just way too much footage to put in all in the last video, like it would have been an hour and 20 minutes long. But anyway, so you see me in the last video, I fit the door handles, and then I started mucking around making the rubber gaskets and bits and pieces to put underneath the door handles and stuff. But what I've discovered this morning, just trying to piece all these other handles together and make sure that they actually fit together before we nickel them and stuff like this. This piece of big collar here, which goes up into the door handle, it just won't go on. And I think what it is, it's just, I got out the digital verniers, and this here is like 10.9 mil on the inside of that, so it's a little bit over 3/8, and this one here is like 11.2, so it's just that a little bit bigger, and it will slip over this square. So this is the other one. It'll go up there, no worries at all. You know? But this one here, just being that touch smaller, it goes on here, and it just won't, for some reason, go past that square. But it's weird, I can put it on, I can slip the square over the other way, then it gets tight too, you know. So I just don't know whether, what quite is going on. So I think I just have to do a little bit of fine tuning on this to get it to slip over. I'm going to start with a little file to start off. I thought maybe I might have had to put a find a drill bit that was very slightly bigger. You can hear this one's way too big, but I find a very slightly bigger drill bit and just run it up and down there a couple of times. Maybe one that was good pushing there, but it's just a little bit tight. Try and just run it backwards and forwards, just to ream a little bit out of there, if you know what I mean. But I think I might just try a file in the end of here first. I've got a couple little files that are quite small, and just run it on the inside of this square, just see if I can get it to slip over. So you've been nothing worse than sitting this wafer being nickeled and all that sort of crap, and then it just won't freaking go on, and then you screw them around with it then. You know, even when we send away from nickel, if they put, hopefully they don't end up with too much crap on the inside. I don't know, maybe, I suppose if they push this on and then nickel it all together, I don't know. I guess they just do it in pieces and we have to assemble it, which is no biggie. But yeah, it's just, this is the only one that's too tight. Everything else, that's fine. So yeah. Right, well, that's that sorted. I suppose I probably should put a spring in each one and put a clip in each one to make sure that they do go together, and then pull them all apart again, I guess. And take that off there, wrap them all up, put them in a box, ready to send away, I guess. Well, once I do a wee bit more sanding, so I don't sand it for you. But yeah, I still wish he had filled that right in. Just so it was be nice to not have to try and fill that with a little bit of body filler afterwards. Just wonder if I put some solder or something in there. Wonder how that would go over top of, nickel over top of that. We'll find out. Anyway, we'll come back to you shortly. Righty, so I've test fit all the handles, test fit all the gaskets, screwed everything on, and put them all together properly, obviously. So I've just been screwing around with here and cleaning all these threads out for the trim, and I discovered that there's another bracket that goes in behind here, and the holes just aren't quite lining up for these threads to go all the way through, because I was wondering why I couldn't get the to pull up properly. So yeah, I've discovered that. So I've got that one opened up. I wound the tap through that, and I actually managed to get it to go right the way through and cut through. But that side's definitely not like everything else is, but it's just the bracket that sort of comes in here just is not lining up 100%, if you know what I mean. So it's also the bracket that holds, that backs into this and then bolts into here. It's all one piece that comes up into here, so it's just not 100% in the right place. So I think I'm probably going to have to drill through here, maybe try and run a drill through here without damaging that thread, and then run the tap back through, just to hopefully it's only just misaligned a little bit and better get it through. And so at least I can get that screw in there properly. Because yeah, I was just doing a proper test fit of it, and whatever, and I trimmed it a little bit off the bottom of it on that side. Just took a little bit off. I wrapped a bit of tape around it and marked it off and trimmed it off, and then I've tidied it up, and I'll have to just touch up a little bit of paint. I didn't really do any damage on the outside, but I just want to clean up the paint. On the on the bottom edge where I've trimmed it off. Well, I haven't really taken bugger all, just basically a couple of frickin' a couple of 30 seconds or whatever off, basically, or a couple of mil off it. That's all I've taken off, just because it was just touching the tops of that door a little bit when you opened and closed it. Why I didn't pick that up earlier on, I don't quite know, but it's one of those things. Maybe when we get the body bolted down completely properly again, it might move something, because it's not 100% bolted down, because we still want to obviously slip the valances and stuff in there. So when we get that maybe squeezed back down properly, it might alter something there a little bit. But yeah, all these door handles and everything fit good. So yeah, I'm happy with how they fit. Just be nice to get them away chromed, and then I have sanded them all up now. I think I've got them all now. Yeah, so I've got all the sharp edges off them and whatever, and I've sanded all these a little bit and whatever. So it'd be nice to get them, nickeled, not chromed. And yeah, and then we can do the black paint in the centre, and work out what I'm going to do in here to fill that, hopefully with a little bit of body fill. I'm just not sure. My biggest problem is, once it's nickeled, it's not going to be that freaking easy to. I'm going to have to try and mask it off and do a little bit of sanding in there and put a little bit of freaking filler in there or something. It's a pain in the ass. I don't know why the guy didn't think to fill it up, but anyway. It's one freaking thing that annoys me, especially when they cost as much as they fucking did. In the end, I won't tell you how much they cost, because it was fucking way more than I thought, but anyway. Like I thought maybe $300 or $400 or $500 might have pulled it up, but it was way more than that to get them made. Considering like that PC was like $150 and we took it back to the same guy. Like I know it's a lot more work, there's a lot more pieces to make, but yeah, I didn't quite think as much as what it ended up being. So that's all good. At least they are the right kind of thing, if you know what I mean. Yeah, just Gets that going, so yeah, I'll have to get that hole drilled out. Over there, just fix that. Why that's not lining up, I don't know. Maybe it's partly because the body's not bolted down or screwed down properly anymore. I don't know, 100%. It's pulled down, but not 100%, if you know what I mean. Because we have got a slip with that other shit in there yet. So, but yeah, we're getting there. I was mucking around a little bit with this. I think I made a little, have I still got it on there? I made a little rubber wash to go on there too. Yeah, I might have to take it out because I thought, just to stop the things from rubbing together, I put a little bit, but I might just see if I can get a smaller fibre washer, just so it's not rubbing, if you know what I mean, against the paintwork. Yeah, I might just have to make it a little bit smaller, maybe just so it fits in there better, or something. We'll find it. Because I was trying to see if we had I was just trying to use the whole punches, cutters, you know, of what we had, but I might just trim it down and just fit in there. I'm just trying to use what I got here, you know, instead of going and buying something. Yeah, I'm spending more and more money when we've already got the rubber here. But yeah, so yeah, just little things like that. And then possibly going to have to get a wash or something for the outside too, for the nut to come up on. Something. Because it's sort of, I wonder if how big the original nuts were on here. Because they might have been quite big. I got a sneaky suspicion they might have been quite a large thing. The original ones. But it doesn't matter. But you will sort something out. You might just have to put a little stainless washer there or something like that. Just trying to not make it, you know, too frickin' take up too much space and run out of thread on this old brass piece, or bronze, or whatever it is. So that's kind of where we're at the moment. Yeah, all these little muck around things that take time. But yeah, once we get, I haven't seen Dad yet today. It's just before lunch. So yeah, we will get that bolt sorted and turn it into a head stud. But yeah, he's got that other stuff, and then at some point I'll muck around with that and give that a clean up and a paint. Bits and pieces. So yeah, we'll just got to sort some stuff out. We've got to sort some paint for here. Get that painted, all cleaned up and painted. I've actually got some, I think, maybe Dad might have this. We've got a bit of an acid wash. It'll just really clean this up, and you can just about paint straight over top of it. It's quite good for that sort of shit. Just so you don't have to, especially stuff like this, you don't have to spend a lot of time prepping it up. You know, it'll key the surface as well as clean it up, if you know what I mean. But we'll just have to see how we get on there. So that'll just give it a quick scuff up. Paint it shouldn't be too bad to scuff up, just to get a decent key on it, since it frickin' set out. But anyway, that's where we're at. So I'll catch you later on. Cheers. Right, that seems to fit better now. Yeah, I can get it to pull in properly. I was having problems pulling it in properly before because just the threads obviously didn't go in far enough. And like I said, I trimmed a little bit off the bottom of this. Just took a couple of little shaves off. I actually used that disc sander on that thing, but I taped it up. But I will touch up the edge just a little bit. I thought it fitted okay, but just when I went to fit it and try to screw it on properly, it was a touch tight. And here you can see where it was just rubbing. So now I'll just put a little dab of black paint on there, and nobody will ever know. So it was just rubbing on there when I had it screwed in, and then tried to close the door. So that's cool. But yeah, I've only got the 3 screws in it because that's all I've got. But at least it pulls in tight now. It was sitting all queer before because I just couldn't get the screws in. I put the drill through here, and it just, you could sort of feel it went in against the next piece, and it must have just sort of halfway taken the edge off it, because it sort of pushed through, it sort of stopped and then went through back through the end quite easy. So that's cool. And I just run the tap through it a couple of times and it screws in nicely, so that's cool. Yeah, it's got a little bit more of a gap on the side, just sits a little bit higher for some reason. Like, I can't do much about the screw holes that are in there originally, so it must have always sat like that. Maybe my new door's a little bit high on that side. Just when I built it, it could be just a touch high in here. But yeah, you can't look at both sides at once. It's nothing like that yellow truck was in those poor boys are working on over the States. Like, I know my gaps aren't 100% perfect in this thing either, but that's the nature of the beast with this wood thing. You know, it was a real fight, and you can't adjust anything very easy, so you kind of get it as close as you can, and they keep moving around me, but it's not bad. You know, we're still got to clean all the frickin' shit in from around the gaps, but it's not that bad, you know. I'd like it better in places, but sometimes, you know, you just got to try and do the best you can, but, you know, make it look decent. So yeah, that's cool. Handles look nice, happy with them. Be nice to get them all nickeled up like I said earlier. Happy with that dash strip now. So I'll touch that edge up, I'll pull it off and touch that edge up. Let that dry. Like, I'll just dab it with a brush. That's all I need to do, just to seal that edge. Yeah. Right, I'll find something else to do after done that. Just work out what I'm going to tack now. I might give that that oil pump and water pump a scrub and blow a coat of paint on that. Give it a rinse down and a scrub and flick some paint on that. It's been painted, but it's just with sitting around. It hasn't taken very well either in a few spots. But yeah, so we'll give that a coat of jam and at least make it look pretty again. Hang a bit of paper around those brass nuts so they stay brass looking. So yeah, that's cool. We'll give that a clean up. And another piece a little bit further on. Still haven't done anything with that bolt, but you know, it's a freaking half an hour job to sort that. When we've got all this other stuff sorted, we can just whip it out, cut it off, rethread it, screw it back in, and clip that nut off again. But yeah, that's definitely a hell of an improvement from what could have been a real disaster. If somebody had put all the nuts on and torqued that down the way it was with those 3 high studs, that one, and wherever that other one is, that one, you can see that because they got the little centering piece, and because they were made, you know, they were probably made out of maybe a 9/16 bolt and then turned down. Then they had the 1/2 inch one put on the other end. With those being high, if somebody had tried to torque this head down, it would have broken it, or at least cracked it, and then you would have been looking for another head. So it was probably a good thing they never had all the nuts and bolted it down. You know, and we're just, you know, lucky that Dad's been doing this stuff since he was 14 years old. That's when Dad started his apprenticeship. Whatever year that was, would have been 1960. Dad started his apprenticeship, I guess. Yeah, somewhere around about there. Because he was born in 46, so yeah, somewhere 59, 60. Dad started his apprenticeship as a mechanic as a 14-year-old. So, been doing it a fair while. Long time. You know, 60 plus years. He was a motor mechanic. So, yeah. Actually, I see Gene Winfield's birthday, I presume it's today, or yesterday or tomorrow, whatever it is, depending on which part of the frickin' planet you're on. But yeah, old boy 95, still cutting up cars. Fuck, that's cool. I hope I'm still doing that at close to that age. Man, he just keeps going, that old boy. Mind you, it's probably what keeps him alive, he just keeps going. You know, hopefully he's one of the lucky ones that just, you know, just doesn't wake up one day and leaves this huge legacy. But man, he just keeps going, that old boy. Freaking awesome. Hopefully one day I'll get to meet him, like if I can get over to the States and stuff like that, because Arco was hoping to do a metal shaping class with him at one point. They had that half organised, sort of, and amongst that COVID stuff they talked about it, and I think it was going to happen, so that may happen at some point. So if I can get over there, it'd be cool to meet him. Yeah, because, you know, when you're at 95, you're not quite sure how much longer you got left on the perch, as to say, but yeah, that's a hell of an effort, and still be cutting up cars and painting cars and customising cars and still teaching people, you know, 3 or 4 day classes, you know, I've heard a few stories, you know, that he'll be there for frickin' 14 or 15 hours teaching each day. So that's a hell of a legacy to leave, isn't it? Cool old dude, and still down to earth and still says hi to everybody. That's wicked. Yeah, wish we could all be like that. It'd be awesome. Anyway, I'll carry it on and I'll give this a clean up. Right, morning guys. Sorry about the noise, the heater being on. I've listened to a couple of videos and I thought, yeah, it's quite intrusive, but it's so freaking cold, you don't want everyone to turn it off. Yeah, it's only about, well, it's just slightly above freezing point at the moment in here, so it's not that pleasant if you're trying to work on something. Anyway, I got that water pump and oil pump housing bits and pieces cleaned up yesterday. A lot of the paint that was on it just fell off once I actually started cleaning it up. So we roughed up the surface. I actually flicked a bit of edge on it while it was still warmish yesterday. So hopefully that's fitting into a lot of it was aluminium, but a lot of there's aluminium parts and glass parts there. So I'm hoping it's held onto aluminium. That's why I edged it, just to see if it would bite in, if you know what I mean. So now we're getting a bit of temp into that piece, sitting in front of the blow heater over there, the diesel pad blow heater, blowing towards it, getting some temperature into it. Hopefully that'll paint all right this morning. And then I will probably work out what I'm going to sort next. I might pull the water pump, well not the water pump, the top of the motor over there, there's a piece where the fan and stuff goes into. I might pull that off, clean that up, give it a coat of black. Just a few bits and pieces like that. I'll just should do a bit of stuff like that this morning. Yeah, not a lot of out, you know, there's plenty of bits and pieces to do, but yeah, I'll do a bit of that small stuff. Try and get some of that cleaned up, get the motor back together. The intake and exhaust manifold are finding a way to be surfaced on the when they, you know, where it bolts up. So that should be hopefully back early next week, or partway through next week. I still haven't heard anything about the clutch bearing yet. So I think I might just leave that till Monday to contact the guy and just see if I can get any info, see whether they think they're having any luck with anything, just so we know where we're at, you know. Yeah, I'd rather go find out and go, well, you know, they're going to have to make something completely or whatever, you know. Like, I'd rather know kind of what the time frame is, just so I can point myself in the direction in what direction I would work on, if you know what I mean. Yeah, so kind of, almost. I've still got a bit of stuff to polish up here. I can go back to a bit of wet sanding and a bit of buffing if I need to. To keep me busy for a few days, you know what I mean. I do have some other bits and pieces like clean up paint. I can probably actually start on the diff here. Might be another thing too, but I just kind of almost want to get the motor out of that road, so I'm not putting something else dirty apart around it. So we kind of get that buttoned up and sort of out of that, off that bench, if you know what I mean. I just don't want too many dirty parts in around it. Also, if you can, when you watch it, please give us a small comment, even if it's just saying hi. Hit that thumbs up. My numbers seem to be reasonably consistent with watches for most videos. At the moment, I'm somewhere between 40 and 70 views for most videos, except for like tool reviews and stuff like that. Some God, I even will blow out further, but the people that are following the build. But yeah, like I'm seem to be getting less and less and less comments and thumbs up recently. So if you can and you're watching, please hit that thumbs up. Please just put a simple comment in if you want to. Just say hi, how you going, where you from, sort of type thing. And if you can and you haven't subscribed, because I do see that we're still more than 50% of people watching haven't subscribed. If you can, please subscribe. It doesn't cost you anything. As long as you've got a YouTube account, just hit subscribe. It doesn't cost you anything. And it just helps push me up to get more views. So hopefully I can start gaining some revenue from doing the videos. You know, I invest a lot of time into making it. Like I could build this thing and never show a video, you know, and still end up with the same result, and I still get my money for working on it, paying for it. But I enjoy making the videos, and a lot of the time, you know, I might spend half an hour a day talking with videos and bits and pieces, or I just set the camera up and work and talk. But, you know, like I'm spending probably a good, every video that I make, probably about 4 hours invested into editing and all that sort of bullshit. So it'd be nice to gain something back from it eventually. I'm over the 1,000 subscribers now, which is absolutely awesome. I think I'm about 1,030 something, which is really, really good. But I need that watch hours up. You know, if I can get a few more subscribers, then I can break into that monetization. I am close. You know, my watch hours are about 3,000, mid 3,000s. So I don't need many more people to subscribe and watch a few more videos, and it will push up. Unfortunately, we didn't get those car shows last year, so I didn't get that boost like I normally would. So that kind of sucks, but yeah, there's not much I can do about that. Hopefully, with maybe bits and pieces that are going to happen shortly, that will push way up. I was hoping to be monetised before we attempted to go to the States, but maybe that might happen with going there. You know, getting all those extra views and bits and pieces, and hopefully getting that roll over from obviously Arco's channel and Iron Horse's channel. You know, me and the boys from Iron Horse are about the same sort of view rate, same sort of thing. You know, we both got over that 1,000 subs. You know, we need a few more watch hours to break through to that monetisation. Just means the effort that you're putting in, you're actually getting some sort of reward from it, apart from the you know, the people watching and the thanks, which is absolutely awesome. You know, and the comments that you do get, and the people that we've met and talked to. You know, there's so many people I'd love to go and talk to over in the States that I communicate with reasonably regularly when I get a chance to watch a lot of the other channels that I like watching, or catch up with every now and again. I've got my regular ones I watch, but there's a lot of other bits and pieces too that I try and jump around and watch when I can. It's not always easy, you know, you can't be doing 50 things at once, but that's kind of why I've got the TV here, so I can just flick through some bits and pieces, and when I'm working or whatever I can quick look and just see what's going on. And I keep those watch hours going up for everybody else. You know, it's partly why I got in here, and it's something to look at every now and again, especially when I'm working by myself. But yeah, just if you can, please like the videos, please share. That would be really, really helpful if you could share with people that are into that like-minded stuff. Yeah, subscribe and just keep watching. Be really, really greatly appreciated. Right, so I'm going to get into spraying that thing. I'll come back to you when I've got a few bits and pieces done later on this morning. Alrighty guys, so what have I been up to this morning? Well, I tried to frickin' make that the frickin' head stud, and I can't get this to really cut it. I'll have to drop it off to Dad and get him to do it. He's got like starter dies and taps and shit like that. Yeah, I can't get that one to cut it. Well, that is frickin' like grade 8 high tensile, so it takes a bit of cutting. Yeah, because I started doing that. I've got that painted and etched and that sort of stuff. The paint just about fell off that thing, so hopefully the edge will hold and get a decent grip on it. And I've painted quite a few other bits and pieces. I'll just turn the camera and hold. And sorry about the noise, but I've got the freaking heater going because it's not very fucking warm. So I got this. This is that little aluminium bracket for the fan. I've taken the little hub piece out of it. I'm going to have to clean that, but yeah, I've painted that. And the paint that was on that just fell off as well. So when I pulled it apart, I media blasted with that garnet. I think it's a garnet walnut mix, and then obviously cleaned it down and then etched it. And obviously had it sitting in the vicinity of the heater, so it always was in at a nice temp, and then I've given it a couple of coats of black, and hopefully it should stay. And the same with all these little bits and pieces. But when I sandblast that's the little drive that goes between all that stuff down the side of the motor. Like the paint just fell off that too once I media blasted that, and it just basically blew off it. I didn't even have to try with the media blaster. Hey, sometimes with media blaster, you know, you got to work backwards and forwards to get it off. It just basically flew off there. So again, etched it, and I've just painted that with a coat of black. I will give it another one. And same with all these bits too. I've painted all these, so that's off actually off the bow housing. I thought I'd take that off, give that a coat as well. And I've done a couple of heads of the bolts with some bits and pieces which will be going back on with some of this stuff. So yeah, we'll just keep working through it and get it done. I thought about maybe trying to do that by myself, but I think it's too fiddly. Hopefully when I get Dad here, maybe to help us do the last little bits and pieces and this, depending on what goes on, I'll get him to give me a hand with that next week for maybe a day or something like that. Just try and get that stuff sorted. And I might even get him to give me a hand to put that top up, and then I can maybe work out those curtain sides while I'm mucking around with that too. Get some of that just mocked up, pieces, the frames for the curtains. So yeah, it's kind of where I'm at. I'm about to bugger off. It's about 11:30, so It's bloody cold and I've got other things I want to do, so sort of done and achieved what I wanted to do today. Got a few bits and pieces done. You know, by the time you give them a couple of coats each, you know, a couple of coats of black, it does dry pretty quick with having that heater blowing around it. Like it's probably, I don't know, 25, 30 degrees C just in this area, you know. It's nice and warm without being stupid hot. Like these things aren't hot to touch, if you know what I mean, but they're a good, nice, warm temperature. So yeah, everything dries pretty quick, so that's kind of what I've been at. I haven't really done anything else. Yeah. Oh, that'll do. That'll do. I actually thought about cleaning up and painting these, but that's actually plastic. I could, but we might make some new ones. That's for the, obviously, for the ignition wires. Like, we'll put new ignition wires in it too, but you know what I mean? Like, I actually thought that might have been steel or something, but it's not. I was going to clean it up and paint one of them, but no. It's just old PVC pipe or something. I don't know whether somebody's remade these. They might have been like aluminium tube originally, I don't know. But we'll work that out and remake one of those so at least it's straight. But yeah, it's kind of where I'm at. So yeah, I'm going to bugger off. We did get both nuts now for this. Again, I still haven't got any further with washers and spacers. I'll have to hit my brother up and just see what he was going to do there. I don't know really, because I think he was struggling to get me some material to make them too. So we'll just have to find out. I haven't seen him for a wee while, so I might have to go see him and just see what he was able to do. Pick his brains of that. So yeah. But anyway, that's pretty much where we're at. So I did think about taking this off, but I can't take it off because it's attached to the fucking timing chain in there. I can't take that off without disconnecting all that shit. So we might just have to mask around that and paint it, repaint it. But yeah. Anyway, we'll carry on. See you later on. Morning guys, welcome back to Monday at NZ Mopar Outlaw Kustoms. So what are we doing this morning? Well, I looked at the parts wash the other day and I thought, it's getting pretty fucking bad. That's putting it mildly. Actually a dead bird there. That's a dead bird, which I just discovered there the other week. Oh, turn the camera around. Yeah, there you go. Nice dead bird in there. All the frickin' powder coating falling off even worse. It needs a bloody good clean out and scrub. I've drained all the simple green and whatever that CRC concoction is there that's halfway in there. So I'm trying to strain the worst of the shit out of there, the crap, through paint filters, just to try and get the crap out of it. So I can maybe kind of reuse this. I don't know yet. I'll see what it looks like once I've strained it through a few paint filters. I don't know. We'll see. I'm just trying to make it last a bit longer. You know, and just give this a bloody good clean out so I can reuse it and put about 50% water through it, which is kind of the ratio of what it needs to be anyway when you meant to mix it up. But yeah, this is just such a mess in there. There's so much dirt and shit in there. It's really bad. It almost needs a like this filter's not up to keeping up with that shit. It almost needs to go into a sump. Almost needs to wash down into like a sump in it, and then or something like that, and then to pick up is above the sump, so you can, you know, try and swivel the shit into the sump so it's not being sucked through this so much. I don't know. But anyway, so I need to clean that out, give that a bloody good rinse out, obviously get the dead bird out of there, get all the frickin' loose powder coat out of there, which is really dumb. Like, it must be poor powder coat or something. Well, this just shit's really strong. But you need to clean that out, rinse that out, and then I'll try and strain the best of the shit back through a couple of times. See if I can get it reasonably clean, so when I'm pouring it through the filters, it's not blocking it up in the first half the fucking cupful. Yeah, and then I've got this bucket here with a bit of water in there just to try and rinse this out. And then I've got another gallon of basically water to mix in with what I've got here to put back in there, I guess, and just see how it goes. So at least so I can rinse some parts, mainly like the diff and stuff when I get that cleaned up. Like we'll rinse it down with brake clean when we're finished. But yeah, just to soak the shit and whatever and get the filth off, if you know what I mean. Try and recycle this a little bit, because some of that shit's not fucking cheap. Like, it's been about $100 or $200 every time we've put another fucking barrel of shit in there. And I'm not using it that often, but you know, when it gets so freaking dirty, I probably should close the lid on it a bit more often, try and get the dust out of it, which probably isn't helping. But oh man, like, it's only me in here and I'm the only one using it, but man, yeah, it's got freaking bad. So I'll carry on and clean this up.
Welcome to Iron Outlaws. Stay tuned. You're not going to want to miss this.
Hey guys, do you need welding gas? Go see the boys at Cool Gas. If you're in New Zealand, yep, go see these guys. They'll look after you. Cool Gas, New Zealand.